I'm Adam from the Army Painter. Today we are going to be painting up a brute drone from the Spire faction from the new game Conquest by Para-Bellum Games. The paints you're going to need for this tutorial are our color primer spray skeleton bone, war paints oozing purple, tanned flesh, rough iron, and arid earth, and of course the original quick shade strong tone dip. After giving the model a base coat of our skeleton bone color primer spray, we went ahead and began blocking in all of the fleshy bits that you see poking through the robes on the arms, as you can see here, with our tan flesh. We just watered this down a touch, thinned it down, and applied 2 thin coats to all of the fleshy areas on the model. Then we moved on to oozing purple, and we applied this to all of the cloth, the robes, and the feathers on the model. We tried to keep this as close to the box art as possible, but we're using a limited palette because we want to get this model painted as quickly as possible, get it ready for that tabletop as soon as we can. And you're going to see that contrast really show once we dip the model. We went ahead and applied a second thin coat of the oozing purple to ensure that we had nice, even coverage. As you can see here, now that purple color is really starting to pop. Now it's time to block in all of the metallic bits. You could go ahead and use anything from our War Paints Metallics range, but I used rough iron because I think it's a nice, deep, dark, brownish, bronzy metallic. Perfect for this brute drone. Because the model is mostly skeleton bone, I wanted to add another light earthy tone to the model just to break it up a little bit. So I went ahead and applied 2 very thin coats of Arid Earth. This is a nice sandy yellow to his giant blade weapon. I don't know what you call it, but it's really cool looking. This is just to ensure that we break up that bonish color a little bit before we dip the model. And before we dip the model, we're going to make sure that we stir the quick shade dip. Don't shake it, as that will cause bubbles. Once the quick shade's been stirred, you're simply going to take globs of that paint and you're going to apply it all over the model. I like to start from the top down and allow gravity to work that splashed on quick shade all the way into the recesses and down the model. This is kind of brainless. You're really just globbing this paint on. That's really what you want to do, because the heavier application that you apply, the more it's going to run into the recesses of the model and add that quick contrast and shading to the model. And this is really the magic in the spray paint dip done technique. You'll want to work quickly. Don't allow that quick shade to dry too fast on the model. Keep applying that paint and work your way from the top down and out on the model. I allowed the model to dry for 24 hours until the quick shade was dry to the touch. Then I gave it a quick coat of our anti-shine matte varnish spray. This dulls down the glossy coat that the quick shade will provide because it is a polyurethane varnish. Now this step is completely optional, but I wanted to weather the blade to give it a nice worn in and weathered appearance. It's very simple. Just take your large dry brush and a bit of the rough iron that we used previously, and just go ahead and dry brush and flick the bristles across the edges of the blade and stipple where you want to for a nice battle damaged and battle worn effect. With the exception of the drying time, we had this model painted in less than 20 minutes. And as you can see, using the Army Painter spray paint dip done technique and the original quick shade dipping method, you can save loads of time at the hobby desk and produce some really effective results for your next tabletop battle. And there you have it, our brute drone is complete. Now all you have to do is finish basing the model with some Battlefield's basing materials to match the rest of your Spire army. Remember, the magic in miniature painting is that it can be as simple or as challenging as you'd like it to be. All it takes is a few simple techniques to pull off some really great and effective results, like you saw today, using the splash-on technique, using the original quick shade dip.